All right, problem 16. Find the value of x or y so that the line through the points has the given slope. So what we need to do is we need to realize that they are telling us that the slope is 5, or we could even say it's 5 over 1. And we know that the slope formula is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And so here we would have x, y, 1s and 2s. We would have 8 minus 3 divided by 8 minus x. And now I will simplify that. 8 minus 3 is 5 over 8 minus x is 8 minus x, and that needs to be equal to 5 over 1. Okay, so then I can go ahead and use proportions to solve. This would be the quantity 5 times 8 minus x equal to 5 times 1, or just 5. Now I can divide both sides by 5. I would get 8 minus x equals 1, and solve for x. So subtract 8 from both sides. The opposite of x equals negative 7. Divide both sides by negative 1, and I get x equals 7. That's the answer for number 16. Number 17, same process. I know that slope is the change in y over the change in x, which is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, xy, 1s and 2s. Okay, so I'm going to have negative 3 minus 6 divided by negative 3 minus x. Then I will simplify and I will get negative 9 divided by negative 3 minus x. And then it tells me that the slope is undefined, which means my denominator has to be 0. It does not matter what number the numerator is. If you really need to have a number, use 1. But you don't need to have a number. Okay, so then when I do my cross multiply, I'm going to have negative 9 times 0, which is going to be 0, equal to 1 times negative 3 times negative x. Right? So essentially we can ignore this part. If we ignore this part, because this does not matter what number this is, it only matters that this is 0. If we ignore this, what do we end up with? We end up with negative 3 minus x equals 0. That's exactly what I have right here. If you really get confused because you want to have a number, then use positive 1. Alright, so then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve for x. I'm going to add x to both sides. 0 plus x equals x. X equals negative 3. Okay, and then finally this one over here is same process. M equals the rise over the run, the change in y over the change in x. So I've got my x and y, I have my x and y. Okay, so I'm going to have 2 minus 3 divided by, oh, why did I say 2? I was looking right here at this 2. That's not correct. Let me scratch that. Okay, so I'm going to have y minus 3 divided by 0 minus negative 4. 0 minus negative 4. And then I'm going to simplify that. Y minus 3 is simply y minus 3. 0 minus negative 4. When you subtract a negative, it's really adding. And then what do I set that equal to? Slope of 0. That means the numerator is 0, and it does not matter what the denominator is. If you have to have a number, use 1. Then you can cross multiply if you want, because that would give me y minus 3 times 1, which is going to be y minus 3, and 4 times 0, which is 0. Incidentally, since this number does not matter, if I go ahead and ignore all of this, what do I end up with? Y minus 3 equals 0. Okay, add 3 to both sides, and I get y equals 3.